A quick warning to start the episode. This is an adult podcast with adult themes, content and language, and we will be giving spoilers away for the film throughout.
Katie, are you ready?
Yep.
Blair Witch.
Woods.
Maps.
River.
Tent.
House.
Corner.
Bloody handprints. The Blair Witch Project.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Woodhams.
And I'm Katie Long.
And welcome to You Scared Me!
The podcast where we investigate why the batteries in the camera never dies, but the common sense does.
Hello Katie, how are you doing this week?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Are you sure?
I mean to do that.
So this week's movie is found footage, and I found footage the other day, and it is of us in our primary school play, Bugsy Malone. I was
Yeah.
Bugsy Malone.
And I was the all-important narrator.
Yes, without you,
No one would have known what was going on.
no one would know what was going on. So yeah, I was able to watch through that and watch through some very strange direction choices.
Yeah. I mean, actually, looking back on it, it was genius because it was the only way that I was able to just read from the script.
Yeah, because you can't learn lines.
Fuck no. As I'll demonstrate in a little while. But with found footage, I don't think that's the only found footage that would exist of us.
No.
Do you remember the videos we used to make of magic acts where we would disappear at your friend James's house?
Yes. James.
Yeah.
Did he live on my street?
Yeah.
He wasn't my friend.
Right. we just went to his house. You might watch this.
That is true. Also, as well, it's worth saying that you are obsessed with home videos.
Yes. I love a home video.
At one point, whenever we would come to your house, Katie would make us sit down and watch the Christmas, present unwrapping, from her Christmas day. And it would just be so weird. It's the middle of summer, and Katie's like, "Do you want to watch Christmas Day 1994?" or whenever it was. And we'd be forced to watch it.
Lovely pastime.
So, today's film is The Blair Witch Project. It is a 1999 found footage horror. And it is written and directed by two people, Daniel Merrick and Eduardo Sanchez. And it's, I would say, it's one of the kind of films that reignited this found footage thing.
Just to add
Go on.
to that, so because it was released in 1999, we would have been about 14 years old when this first came out. So we wouldn't have seen it at the cinema. It would have been one of them that we probably had to wait till it was released on DVD. But it was one of the first found footage films that I saw as a young teenager.
I remember watching this at your house in the denim room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Classic.
All the sofas denim with suede pockets.
Yeah.
Classic.
And cushions.
But I remember walking home on my own, being a bit like, I'm scared.
I mean, you were walking home alone as a child through Luton. That should have probably been more worrying. But
Yeah, that is true. That was scary enough as it is. Can you give us a quick overview? What's the film about?
Okay, so it is a group of friends that have decided to make a documentary about the Blair Witch. We start where they gather some information. They're explaining to camera what it is that the topic is based around, and they interview a couple of people in terms of getting the backstory. They then set off into the woods to see if they can find any evidence of the tale of the Blair Witch. And as we go further into the film, things start to gradually unravel.
Yes, that was a really good overview.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and the whole thing is supposed to be, isn't it? It's like this, that they were making a documentary and that the footage has been found hence found footage, in the wood after they've gone missing, basically.
Yes.
Interesting fact. So the 3 actors, again, not very well-known actors, but the names that they take are their own names within the thing. So they are essentially supposed to be sort of fictionalized versions of themselves. So there's Heather, Josh, and Mike, and that is those actors' real.
I didn't actually realise that. I thought they'd just put those names in the credits to be realistic. I didn't realise it was the actual actors' names.
That is the way that they did it.
Fact number 1.
Off we go.
So, I would say the start of the film, the first 5 or 6 clips we see from this found footage is just the 3 main characters mucking around, and it's a chance to get to know them as people and a little bit of their backstory. So if I'm right, I believe Heather and Josh have previously been in a relationship. They no longer are.
Yeah. Well, they definitely know each other, don't they?
Yeah. But the 3 of them are all friends. They're interested in documentary making. And that's kind of setting the scene. The next couple of shots is mostly Heather.
Yeah.
Telling us a little bit about the folklore of the Blair Witch and other theories surrounding that.
Yeah.
And then we go into their interview with the townspeople of Burkittsville, is it called?
Yes, it's the town of Burkittsville in Maryland, near the Appalachian Mountains, which is where they end up going into.
Yeah.
What mountains?
The Alpaca Mountains. So, just quickly to go off on a small tangent before we get into the film. The Appalachian Mountains is just the word. You said it earlier to me, and I recognised it because I've been following this person on TikTok who kept getting this strange woman appearing on his property, and he just moved into a new property in the Appalachian Mountains. And I don't know whether he's a dog breeder, but he owns a large amount of land and has many dogs on this land, and it's all sort of gated, so it should all be enclosed, shouldn't be able to get on it. And the first time you see this woman, you don't really ever see her face, which makes it a bit freaky, but he goes to the gate and he says, "Excuse me, can I help you?" And the dogs are going a bit crazy, and she's just like, "I just want to come in and see your dogs." And he's like, "No, I don't know you, thank you." Turns her away. And then she starts turning up at night, and there's just really shaky camera footage of her creeping across his property, setting off these cameras, and then eventually she starts trying to break into his house. I was just like, "Ooh, creepy." Nothing to do with the Blair Witch, but it's just that association.
Maybe based on.
You never know, and it's probably completely untrue, but I just thought, I wonder if there's any link there. So back to the story. Just to add, those first couple of shots, I think, is a chance also to adjust to the shaky camera work that we're going to experience throughout this film.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like 75% blur
and really inappropriate close-ups of people's faces, and heavily zooming in and out and stuff.
Yeah. So
the base of the story then that is covered by these first shots is about the Blair Witch and who she may be. The town. There was a lot around child death.
Yeah, so they're talking about the Blair Witch, but they're also talking about this man called Rustin Parr, who apparently in the 1940s murdered lots of children, or abducted these children, took them into the wood and murdered them. And his claim was that the witch made him do it.
Yes.
So you now have these 2
entities,
characters, these 2 entities that are sort of connected to it.
And is it the witch? Is it, what's his name, Rustin Parr?
Rustin Parr.
There's also reference to the children facing the corner. That's quite important in the beginning.
Yes.
That's mentioned.
So the story, and these stories aren't there at the beginning. They're like vox pops, aren't they? Like interviews just with local townspeople.
They are. Interestingly, when the film was first shown, it didn't include as much of an explanation as that.
Oh, really?
They actually went back and added that in because people were so frustrated at the end of the film, in which we'll go into in a lot more detail, about what happened, because there wasn't really kind of any scene setting beforehand. So that was added after the original was released.
Interesting.
So then off they go
Off they
into the
go.
woods. There's a few more stories that kind of unravel as they arrive in the woods.
Yeah, so they also are talking about the original, the Blair Witch, aren't they? Ellie Kedwood, who's supposed to be the Blair Witch from, again, another fictitious town of Blair.
Yeah. And I guess it, as you might expect, it starts off fairly calmly. They're just kind of establishing themselves. They don't seem to have done a huge amount of preparation.
No. And Heather is mega annoying.
Yeah, I agree. Like, not the person I would choose to be on camera.
No. And not the person you would choose.
But unsurprising that she's put herself forward for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few clips, isn't there, of Heather kind of talking to camera about the legend of the Blair Witch and the woods and all of this.
So we have day one. They leave the car. I would say the car's just left in a really random place, just kind of side of the road, abandoned. There's not like an official easy place they leave it to find. Would you agree?
Yeah. No National Trust car park.
No, precisely. Anyway, day one passes. There's more explanation about murders on a rock.
So they are trying to. The three of them are trying to hike to Coffin Rock.
Yeah.
Where apparently, also in this cursed wood, 5 men were found slaughtered.
Yeah.
Like 100 or so years ago before.
Yeah.
So all this bad stuff keeps happening in the wood, and they're like, in we go.
Yeah. Go for it. So day one passes. Night one passes. It's really just them sort of chatting. Nothing untoward. Day two. As we come towards the end of the day, just as it's kind of getting to sunset, they come across piles of rocks in the middle of nowhere. No kind of context around that, but it's the first strange happening that they come upon.
So isn't it supposed to be that those rocks are like graves?
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're supposed to be, I believe, there's 7 rocks.
Right.
7 children went missing.
Ah.
So it's
7 piles, you mean?
7 piles.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 piles of rocks, and it's supposed to be potentially it's these graves of the 7 children that had gone missing.
Interesting.
But then what happens? Josh knocks one over. Do you remember?
Oh.
So he knocks over this pile of rocks
On purpose?
No, by accident. So
Yeah.
he accidentally knocks over some of these rocks,
Yeah.
and then that's when.
You feel like that's the beginning of the end.
That's the beginning of. Can you imagine if someone comes and knocks over your grave?
I won't give a shit.
Yeah, but ghost you might.
Don't think so.
You don't. Okay. Okay.
But we're going into the night. This is where they're camping. And they start just hearing small little noises that can't be explained. So it's things like crackling. It's like the rocks they saw earlier banging together, snapping. And it just puts them a little bit on edge because they can't explain what it is.
Yeah. They don't know what's going on.
Is it an animal? A person? It's not a natural noise. Same thing happens the following night. But when they wake up the next morning, there's a pile of rocks outside their tent the next day. I think it's interesting then you say about the graves, because with that context, is somebody being marked to be killed?
Well, how many piles of rocks are there?
Oh, I thought it was just one.
It's 3 piles of rocks
Ooh.
in the middle of their tents.
And I think that's the first time panic sets in a little bit, because finding the rocks, I mean, it could just be someone being a bit weird. It could just be kids. The banging and cracking noises, there are explanations for that. But the piles of rocks left outside their tent is very specific and links back to what they saw the day before. And I think it's the first time they go, shit.
Yeah, and you know, they're trying. I think one of them's trying to argue like maybe it's just a coincidence, and she's like, we couldn't have built our camp perfectly around these 3 piles of rocks
Without noticing them.
Yeah.
So that day, they're on edge now.
Yeah.
The map goes missing.
Heather's map.
Or the map that they all have.
Yeah, but she's got like it's.
She's the map keeper.
Yeah, of course she fucking is. Heather, map keeper, won't trust anyone else to touch the map.
Yeah.
You can imagine, can't you?
I mean, I don't think they were using it very effectively anyway, but
Well, they were lost.
they feel like it's there.
Yeah, and they're sort of stumbling through the woods, aren't they? Being a bit, I don't know, what's like, just trying to find. I think they're kind of seeing things that they're like, oh, we've already seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen that. And then
They were following the map, but they felt like they might be going round in circles slightly. The river being a really key element to that. There's a lot of bad feeling between the three of them, kind of coming to some sort of crescendo, and I kind of thought, is this whatever it is that's tormenting them, is it feeding off this anger and
neg energy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like Blair Negwit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We've all met someone like that, haven't we? Who is kind of like, do you know, people who you work with who are like, oh, have you had a bad day? Tell me.
Yeah.
Was it Sue? Was it Sue? Was it Sue?
Sue in HR.
Like you say, tensions are building. They're getting more and more angry with each other. Things are getting fraught. They're blaming each other. They've found stones, otherwise known as
Cairns.
Yes, well done. Education. And then Mike starts having his little laughing fit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I threw it away. It wasn't doing us any good. So I went into your bag and I took it and I threw it in the river. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think this is Mike that did that? Or do you think somehow this bad juju of the wood has made him do that? As in, something has almost taken control of him and made him throw the map away? Or do you think he's genuinely gone, this is pointless?
I think with everything in the Blair Witch, it's not explained, and that's very purposeful. It leaves everything open for you to interpret. It is a bit odd because he is also getting stressed out and upset before that, and I did think, why would he be so stressy about it all if that's what he had done? So it is a bit of a change of pace from him.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing why it makes me go, is it something that, like, the wood has made him do?
Yeah.
Because initially he's very angry with her that she has lost the map.
Yeah.
And then he starts kind of crazy laughing and being like, it was me!
Yeah.
Good joke, Mike.
Yeah.
He's called Mike, not me.
Right, yeah, got you. I thought you were just talking about yourself in the third person there.
Good joke, me. Go me.
So that same day is when they find the stick men hanging in the woods. Oh, I don't know if that's what you would call it, but that's what I would say it is.
Yeah, I would say they're stick men. And they're the, like, kind of iconic thing, I would say, from the one thing I remember about when this movie came out was seeing that picture of those stick men everywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone at school, like, drawing it on books and stuff.
Well, we would, like, just go down to the local parks and stuff and try and make them and hang them in the trees to freak people out that were walking their dogs.
Yeah.
Not
kids.
very successfully.
But making them, but not really having seen the film, but just being like, yeah, these stick men
Yeah.
are scary somehow. Yeah. So weird.
So the next night, after seeing this and being freaked out, they decide not to light a fire this time because they wonder if that might be identifying them to whatever or whoever is tormenting them. However, that night they hear stuff from the tent and it's less clear than before, but what they decide to do this time is just run.
Well, yeah, but before that, remember, they've heard this laughing, like children,
Yeah.
and then the tent starts. Shh, that's the bit that scared me.
Oh, I don't know if I even noticed that.
Yeah, the tent starts going as if it's like,
Someone hitting it.
as if it's lots of people surrounding it, hitting.
Okay, if that happened to me, I'd be getting out with my torch and looking at where the hitting is.
Yeah, but they ran.
Who did?
The three of them.
Yeah, idiots.
But that's what provokes them to run. Is that they hear this, like, kid laughter. And then tent.
Okay, but right. If it is potentially kids, don't be scared.
Yeah, but ghost kids, babes, not
Yeah,
fucking
well-
normal kids. Not just kids.
Still have a look.
Ghost children. I think
At least have the camera on your shoulder facing behind you, so if it's something's there, you capture it.
I believe as well, at that point, is when they're running, Heather, as they are running, screams,
"What the fuck is that?"
yeah. She screams, "Oh my God, what the fuck is that?" Now, apparently, this was... so when they filmed this film, it was all very method. They literally sort of went out, camped, did the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they had...
Freaked them out a bit, starved them.
Well, they did. So they were basically... The actors were sort of left in the wood for 8 days.
Right.
To film this thing. They did not have a script. I guess they had like a story
guide
that was plotted. But they didn't have a script. And they had a safe word. So the safe word apparently was taco.
Right.
So if they wanted to kind of stop filming, as it were, stop being the film version of themselves and actually talk to someone from production, they would say the safe word.
Right.
But other than that, they were in this kind of method thing of the film. You know, I'm sure in the context of filming it, they would have known that their tent is going to be shaken and all of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But as they ran away, apparently the director had put like white long johns on his head and was like running around in the dark ahead of them. So her
cool job.
Her "oh my God, what the fuck is that?" is actually a reaction to seeing him in the dark as she's running through this wood.
I mean, I found that moment frustrating because you as the viewer don't see anything, and it's like, what is it?
Yeah.
You just want an inkling of something. You know, even if you only get a blur of it, but you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, you never... And that's kind of true of the whole film, isn't
Yeah.
it? You never see anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember at the end, when you think... You know, I'm sure we'll get to it, but when you think there might be a moment that you see it, of like slowing it down frame by frame to go, maybe hidden in there is something. Anyway, they've run off. Then what happens?
Then they're left wandering for a little bit through the night, and as the sun just starts to rise, they make their way back to the tent. But when
also, just cutting in here,
yeah,
can't find their way out the fucking word, but they can find their way back to their tents in the dark.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, unless they just ran in a straight line, maybe.
Yeah.
Although, based on the way they've behaved so far, you'd think even just turning around back to the way they came would be difficult for them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you're in a cursed wood, though, anything like that, you can say, but the wood wanted you to do it.
Maybe.
The cursed wood.
So when they return to their tent, the tent itself has been trashed. So it's confirmation that there is something physical.
Mm-hmm.
And there is blue jelly all over stuff. Now that I was a bit like, what is that? That's not scary. But it's on Josh's stuff specifically, isn't it?
Yes. So, yeah, because their stuff's like been gone through, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe some stuff is missing.
Yeah.
But Josh's stuff is strewn around and he's got
blue
jelly.
Ectoplasm.
Maybe.
I mean, I always kind of find the jelly thing a bit weird.
Yeah.
As like a kind of... Because it's clearly supposed to be like a marker of you're next. But it's a bit like, why blue?
Yeah.
Why blue?
Why not blood or...
To me, I don't connect witch with like blue jelly.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like, what is it? Explain that, please.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It could have been like, like you say, blood. Scorch marks.
Like dragged through the mud.
Dragged through the mud.
Something a bit more woody.
Just something that's not...
Put holes in it.
Put holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not jelly, though. The jelly thing was strange.
So the other thing here is then they make reference again to we're going in circles, we've been here already. And for me... I was kind of thinking about what would I do in this scenario. There is this river, and I feel like if you are genuinely lost and trying to find yourself in a different direction, and you actually get to the point that you don't care which direction that is, as long as it takes you somewhere, why not just follow the river?
Yeah. Yeah. You're 100% right.
I know.
Why not follow Katie, Girl Guide?
Girls Brigade.
Knows how to get out. But yeah, so they've come back to this river. Is this the bit where Heather falls in the river and they think it's hilarious?
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit of random light relief in the middle.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. And actually maybe that's to give like a slightly false sense of security, isn't it? She's fallen in, and they're all finally having a little laugh. And maybe you go, maybe things aren't so bad. Maybe they're going to be okay.
Yeah. We're now on about night 6 or 7, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
So this is the next night. There's not much that you hear in the night, but what has happened by the morning is Josh has gone missing. They look for him the following day, no trace. But then the night after, they hear what sounds like Josh's muffled screams and shouts. They try calling for him, but it just sounds... Well, I thought it sounded like he was being tortured.
Yeah, so you can hear him screaming. And I wonder if, given what happens later, if those screams are all he can muster. That's what I think.
So for me, I was kind of like, oh, should they try and find him? Because if he's been hurt or there's a chance of getting him back, that's probably a good thing to do. But at the same time, with everything else that's been happening, I think I would at that point be questioning, is it Josh or something else?
A hallucination.
Yeah. Or something meant to sound like Josh.
Oh. You mean like the Blair Witch is like an impressionist?
Exactly.
God. Wow. How crazy. I do impressions, you know.
Do you want to do a Blair Witch impression?
Yeah. 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 How
some stones.
Yeah. How would the Blair? I'm the Blair Witch. I'm the Blair. I lost it.
Cut that, otherwise your career is done.
Well.
So next morning, after they've heard the screams and shouts, there is a pile of twigs and sticks tied together with Josh's torn shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Now inside you see like a bloody body piece. I thought it was either a tongue or a small animal heart. Because I couldn't decipher what it was, I decided to look it up.
Right. I always assumed it was his tongue.
Why?
Because it looked like a tongue.
That's what I thought it was too.
And then my kind of take on that was like, it's a tongue, which is why we hear his screams, and not... Because his screams are just screams.
Not him saying anything.
Not him saying anything. And I'm like, oh, because they've taken his tongue.
If your tongue was taken out, could you scream?
Oh!
It wouldn't sound the same though. Well, no, your tongue is still in your mouth. So the reason I say that is because if your removal of your tongue would prevent such noises, it almost is like it wasn't Josh.
I think you would be able to scream because the scream comes from your vocal cords.
Right. Well, you would know more than that than I would.
But you wouldn't be able to talk because our tongue is how we shape the words.
Yeah.
But so it might sound quite like, ooh!
Which it does kind of sound like that.
Thank you. Ooh! Like that.
You've saved yourself.
Oh! Ah! Oh!
But I did look it up, and apparently it's not a tongue.
What is it?
Apparently it's teeth.
It's not teeth.
Covered in blood.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, Mother, but you're perfectly wrong.
You might have to check.
I will. That is. Can I try and find it?
Yeah, do it.
So I'm looking. I mean, I guess it's. Yeah, I guess that is what it is. To me, I just always thought it was a tongue, but I guess because when you're looking at it, you don't have a kind of sense of the scale of what you're looking at.
It actually looks like a tongue and a witch's finger.
Maybe that is what it is.
Yeah.
A tongue.
And a bit of hair, unless that's the hair of the person leaning over.
Yeah, I think that's Heather's hair. Yeah, a tongue, a witch's finger / penis. And like a little white bit, a tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I mean, I don't think it matters too much. It's a body part in Josh's shirt in blood.
Yeah, I'm sure from Josh's perspective, it's just sore.
It's sore. So that leads on to the very famous shot that night
Yes.
of them running, and then Heather turning the camera on herself, and the shot up the nose with her leaky nose pleading into the camera, doing her little monologue.
Yeah. And she has sort of said that zoom in, again, was all accidental. It was just how she filmed it.
But became one of the images that you would then associate with the film.
Yeah. I'm so scared right now. The issue, right, is... What does it make you think of when you think of that?
Scary movie.
Exactly!
I really, really struggled to watch it without seeing the nose flooding out onto the camera.
Yeah, so like the piss take of that scene on Scary Movie where it's like, you know, with Gail, what's her name? Gail Hailstorm.
Yes.
But that for me was the overriding image.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the snot to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't do it because...
Pop and a bubble.
And it didn't do it because...
It's such a good parody of that scene that's the one that stuck with you, not the original.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, that is probably one of the iconic shots, isn't it? And I think that's the shot that was on the front of some of the
possibly.
posters and the DVDs and
the
stuff.
woolly hair.
Back in the day. Yeah, and it's just like from here.
Yeah. Because that's where the camera was stopping.
So, after this little bit in the dark, Heather and Mike hear...
Somebody please.
Yeah, oh, so we can speak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
So it's definitely not...
Well, yes.
He's not going, somebody.
Yes, but do you know what? Actually, if it was the tongue, that would be even better. Because then it'd be like, it sounds like Josh, but we know it can't be because we've had his tongue.
Yeah.
Like, that would have actually been better.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep believing that.
Yeah.
And that leads them to...
The house.
Scotty.
So they find the house in the wood, don't they?
Yeah.
And they assume maybe, or they thought that Josh's voice was coming from there.
Yes. They both run inside, and I think something that's really important on this bit, which I didn't clock until watching it this time, is that they both have a camera.
Yeah.
But one of them have a camera which has audio, and one of them has a camera without audio.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No. How do you know that?
I'll explain in a moment.
Oh.
They both run into the house and they hear Josh and they think it's coming from upstairs.
Right.
So one after another, they run upstairs.
Uh-huh.
I think at this point, you see flashes of the bloody small handprints on the wall
Yeah.
as they go up.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get up to the top, I mean, it's quite dilapidated. There's barely walls or windows in some of the rooms.
Yeah.
But they don't find anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they hear Josh's scream come from the basement.
Uh-huh.
What happens here is Mike runs. He goes for Josh. Heather's a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
So I believe it is Mike's camera that has the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I say that is because I think it gets a bit confusing at this point, because you hear Heather screaming, but her screams get less and less the more Mike runs.
Right.
You hear her more in the background.
Okay.
And then as she comes down to the basement, she gets suddenly louder again, which is explained by the fact that there are two cameras rolling at all times and it's cutting between the two.
I understand. Yeah, I did think the bit where she's screaming felt a bit weird because the scream... There's one bit where I was watching it and she's screaming running around the house, but the scream felt very detached from what was going on. Do you know what I mean?
it was Mike's camera.
Interesting.
And I again, that is something I had to kind of look up as I was watching, because I was like, am I missing something here? And that was the explanation that was repeated.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, we see Mike go into the basement, or we see Mike's camera go into the basement.
He descends, yeah.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Heather's camera.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hear her. This is where she gets louder and louder and louder.
But before that, we've seen Mike's camera just goes dead, doesn't it? Or goes on the floor or something.
It drops to the floor.
Drops to the floor.
Yeah. And you don't see anything.
Clumsy.
Then Heather, you see her coming down the stairs a bit slower than he was,
Mm-hmm.
calling for him, calling for Josh. And as she enters into the basement, she's kind of shaking, looking around. And the very last clip of the film is she holds it up and she says, "Mike," and he's standing facing.
I mean, she doesn't say Mike. She's going like, "Mike!" Isn't she like screaming at him? And he's right there.
Till the point that she sees him, I think.
Ah, okay.
And then it's like, "Mike?"
Trying to get men to do anything, you really have to just shout.
But importantly, Mike is standing facing the corner away from her.
Yeah.
And then it appears that she gets hit and her camera
Camera goes down.
falls to the ground. The end.
And that is it. That is the film. It's one of those weird films, isn't it? Because actually, like, it's like just going through it, you go, oh, I guess like it's not a long film. It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
When it's on Heather for a while, it feels a bit long.
Yeah. Yeah. Heather draws it out. Bless her. But yeah, no, it is over though very quickly, isn't it? I would say, like, this film, like, once it kind of starts, you're like, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me about the Blair Witch Project is there's no particular jump scares, which I do really like, but I still found it incredibly scary because it's just left to your imagination, and that's almost more scary than presenting you with a silly looking witch or murderer. Yeah,
and I think that's the whole thing. Like, you don't have anything. It is very much left to your imagination, isn't it?
And you don't get the explanation. Was it the man? Was it the witch? Was it something else?
Did they just slip?
Yeah. Are they just knobs?
Yeah. Are they just like sat off camera being like, ooh?
Did Josh just find his way home?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Yeah.
They could be happy somewhere.
I think the other thing in this is that the body count really is, if you don't count the stories at the beginning about the children, there's only 3 potential victims or deaths in this, which aren't even confirmed.
Yeah, we don't know. They might just like turn into, I don't know, blue jelly. Maybe that's where the blue jelly.
Murderers themselves.
They become the witches.
Yeah.
I was reading in fact about this because so a lot of this was all like when it was marketed was all very like meta, wasn't it? They tried to make it like look as real as possible. The posters for it were like missing people posters, and apparently Heather Donahue, who played Heather, her mum was getting sympathy cards from people who had seen the posters of her daughter in this movie but believed that she was really missing.
Oh, wow.
And people were contacting her being like,
Soz.
Yeah, hope you're okay. So the other thing that's worth mentioning is that the backstory for the film was completely made by the 2 directors and the 2 writers, and they made another documentary to go alongside the film, which the documentary was called Curse of the Blair Witch. So that was also released in 1999. They had a website, and it basically talked about the Blair Witch. I
think I remember you and I visiting that website.
Yeah. It talked about this Rustin Parr, this killer. It talked about all these other, cases that were made up for the film, but it's talking about them separately from the film to make the...
Well, I guess if you think about 1999, Google search and other sites aren't what they are today.
Ask Jeeves.
Well, yeah.
Alta Vista.
So actually having that would have been what most people arrived at if they used the internet to kind of look into this in any shape or form, and that's probably quite clever on their part.
Yeah, but it was really like a kind of all-round thing, wasn't it?
World Wide Web.
Well, www.worldwideweb. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back. So, we've been through the film. Now it's time for some of our favourite lines, and maybe we'll have a little try at some scripts inspired by the Blair Witch Project.
Do you have a favourite line from this film?
I would say my favourite line, we've already said, is, oh my god, what the fuck is that? But that is, and obviously, I'm so scared right now. Like,
Yeah.
these two iconic lines. The reason I like that, oh my God, what the fuck is that, is because of how that was elicited from her. And I think that was like a genuine thing. So like we said, it's the director in these like white long johns or pantyhose or whatever, they're tights, like running through the wood.
Yeah.
And that's what made her say that.
Yeah.
Real. Do you have a favourite line?
I do, and it's not one that we've mentioned so
go
far.
on.
And it's not really one that I kind of picked up on before.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you who said it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the point at which their stuff is all rummaged through in the tents and stuff goes missing, it's either that and things taken, or they've run out of food and other things they have with them, and the cigarettes is one of the things that they've run out of.
No wonder they're getting tetchy.
Oh, well, precisely. But then I think the day before, or the day that they find the house in the evening, it must be Mike. Maybe it's Mike and maybe it's Heather, but one of them is filming the other, and they say, I found some cigarettes at the bottom of my pack, which means we are still alive because we are smoking. And I was just like, what?
Nothing's better than smoking.
Well, I was kind of like, well, if it's something that you've been wanting so badly, are you hallucinating at this point?
What, you think he's hallucinating he's got cigarettes?
Yeah. Or like, well, no, he isn't, because you can see him on camera doing it, but it was
So
such a weird
Yeah.
thing to say.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things, though, isn't it? It's like, life's not that bad. Do you know how you always see at the end of movies where they're like, I'm about to die, light me a cigarette?
Yeah.
I don't know where they're from when they say it, but... Now, I've organised us an AI script based upon...
You're Heather.
But she's so annoying! Based upon the film The Blair Witch Project. So, who would you like to be? Who would you like to...
Mike, I am Mike. Please.
Can I not be Mike?
No, you are Mike every day. It is my turn to be Mike.
Fine. So, it says here...
You're better at playing the annoying.
It says here, we're looking at the psychological breakdown between Heather and Mike. It's day 6. They're hopelessly lost. The map is gone. The woods are closing in. The dialogue, Katie... The dialogue needs to feel raw, overlapping, and frantic. The light is failing, casting long, skeletal shadows through the trees. Heather, mid-20s, is frantically checking her compass, but breathing ragged and audible. Mike, mid-20s, stands a few feet away, staring at a cluster of grey rocks. He looks hollowed out. You ready?
Yep.
American accents.
No.
Give it a try. So we have to be talking over each other. It should be here. The creek was supposed to curve south. If we follow the water, we'll hit the road. It's basic geography, Mike.
Geography doesn't live here.
Don't
Heather.
do that. Don't start with that mystical crap. I need you to help me look for the trail markers.
The markers? You mean the little stick men? The things that look like they're screaming? I've seen enough of those, thanks. I've seen enough of everything you want to document.
This is all I have. If I stop filming, if I stop looking at the lens, then we're just two people dying in the woods. As long as the camera is on, there's a point to this.
There's no point.
Ooh.
We've been walking south for 10 hours, Heather. 10 hours! And we've just passed the same fallen log with the white fungus on it for the 3rd time.
The compass, that's not possible. The compass says...
The compass is spinning. Look at it. It's a toy. It's a piece of plastic that doesn't know where the hell we are any more than we do.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I brought us here. I'm sorry, I wanted to make something important. Is that what you wanted to hear?
I want to hear a car, Heather. I want to hear a muffler backfiring or a dog barking in the yard. I don't want to hear you apologising to a lens.
You hear that?
Don't do that.
It's like a clicking, like stones hitting each other. Mike, look at the trees. Are they moving?
I'm not looking anymore. We're staying right here. We're getting in the tent and we're putting our heads down and we're not opening the zipper.
It's 6:15 p.m. We're near the clearing. I think something is circling us.
Leave us alone! We're just lost. We're just leaving.
I'm so scared, Mike.
Great. Get that on film. It will make a hell of a closing shot.
A hell of a closing shot and a hell of a closing line.
Did you add that line after loads of text just to throw me off? Now it is time for our dead serious questions. Good. So, Mike, what is the moment that made you go, why did they do that?
My biggest why did they do that moment is why did they do it? Why did they go in the first place?
Well, why weren't they a bit more prepared?
Why weren't they more prepared? Why didn't they take a fucking Sherpa or something? Someone to lead them through. That was one of my biggest why did they do that moments. The next why did they do that moment, which we sort of explored earlier, is why did Mike throw the map away? Now, if Mike was possessed by the woods, cursed wood, fine. He can't help it.
Yeah.
But if Mike had just gone a bit, he was just getting a bit stir crazy and a bit stressed, then you need to fucking pull yourself together, Mike.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I would say, in terms of all of their actions, they could have done with a little bit more pause for thought. So we were talking before about them running out of the tent. Okay, they were shitting themselves. But, just pause. Just take a little peek. Just confront it. And if there's nothing there, then you don't need to... no point in running. Save yourself the run.
Yeah. And if you're always looking for something to do, it's to save yourself a run.
Exactly. But, for example, though, when they get to the house, this isn't the first time they've heard Josh. It is the first time, to be fair, that they're following his voice, which they didn't do the night before and didn't work out well for them. But I think I might have had a little conversation beforehand between them about, do we think it's definitely him? What do we do? Are we going to... Let's stick together in here. Let's not separate.
Yeah. Could it just be an echo?
Have we got a weapon?
Have we got a weapon? Didn't bring anything, did they?
No. But, take a branch in with you or something, you know? If you've got nothing else...
Take a branch.
They've spent a lot of time fucking about in the woods. Sharpen a stick.
Yeah.
Stop
walking, sharpen a stick.
Yeah.
Stab a witch.
If it's a person, at least you've got something to defend yourself. If it's not, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
So, do you think you would survive this scenario?
So, let's assume we've got to the point where I'm actually in the wood in the first place camping.
Yeah.
Firstly, would I survive? Probably, because I'd be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But let's assume that I'm there. I actually don't think I would. I've got a very good sense of direction. So, what?
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know where I'm going.
In the woods?
About town.
Okay.
I found my way up here.
If you were in the middle of the nowhere, if you were in the middle of nowhere, how would you navigate yourself?
Yeah, but so here's the thing, right? Would I survive? Probably not, because if I couldn't find my way out and my kind of sense of direction failed me, I would start panicking. Because I think I would go, usually you're so good at this.
Yeah.
Why have you been past the river 6 times?
Yeah.
And I think, in my panic, I wouldn't think, follow the river.
You see, I wouldn't be worrying about passing the river multiple times, because a river can snake all over the place.
Yeah.
But follow the river was one of my suggestions. I would also be paying attention to where the sun was rising and setting, because that gives you a bit more of an inkling about what's north, south, east and west.
Right, Bear Grylls. Chill out.
And then I'll drink my own piss.
But Katie, we've got litres of...
Skin a rabbit.
We've got litres of water left. No, I'm fine. The piss will do me great. Thank you.
It's good for your skin.
Yeah. Would you?
I wouldn't have agreed to go into the woods hiking in the first place. So, I would survive.
Yeah. And actually, the thing is, nothing would convince you to do that.
No. But let's just say, for argument's sake, I'm
Exercise
there.
for a holiday? No thanks.
Let's say I'm there. I've been plonked in by a helicopter against my will.
Yeah.
I think, no. This is one, because you don't know what you're up against.
Yes.
Because running doesn't change things staying put escalates things. No, I might be buggered in this situation.
I can literally just visualize, right? That tent bit, everyone running out the tent, and you're just being like, I'm not running.
Yeah.
I'm just
punching it back.
Or just doing like one of like in your like long. Do you remember that long coat you used to have at school that went down to your ankles and it was like the boiler suit one?
No.
You look like a boiler. We used to call it your boiler jacket.
I don't remember.
No, not to your face. And it was like a puffer one. I think you actually found it at a house party.
Possibly.
And it was like a puffer all the way down.
Yeah.
And my visual that I have of you is just you always like walking around in that with these like tiny steps. And it would be like, walk quicker. Go quicker.
Would you want to be stuck with me in this scenario?
Well, I definitely think you would die first. So
what?
I think you would be someone who is
I'd be a buffer.
Yeah. You'd be someone useful to be around. Because
you could chuck me in front of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'd be like, as long as I can keep in front of her, I'll be fine. And keeping in front of you is really easy. That's my answer.
Oh, I think our brains together would maybe find a way.
we would out Blair Witch the Blair Witch.
Yeah, we'd scare it.
Yeah.
We'd spend a night like hiding in the trees, and when it made noises, we'd make scarier noises.
Then we'd force feed it your piss that you put in bottles for zero reason.
And that's the other thing. If you're really shitting yourself, make it so fucking funny that you're not scared anymore.
Yeah. What? So you just, when death comes, you're just like, ha ha ha. Maybe that's what Mike was trying to do.
Possibly.
Maybe. You never know.
So which character would you rather be out of Heather, Mike, or Josh?
Mike. Josh, I don't want no tongue or teeth or whatever it was pulled out of my body. Heather, fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Mike, at least he's
alive at the end.
Yeah. True. So, and Mike's just like living his best camping life.
And also he's never dated Heather.
And he's never dated Heather.
Yeah. And he's not Heather. At which point would you have dropped the camera and thought, fuck it?
Very early on.
A lot earlier than they did.
The bit that would have done it for me, though, in terms of not keeping hold of the camera, as soon as those tiny little hands had been banging on my tent,
yeah,
I'd have been like, guys, I'm leaving the camera. Let's go.
The only reason I might keep it is the light, because I don't have mobiles.
That's true. Ah, a time before mobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. But I think the first time I needed to run, I would have stopped filming. And if I was there with you, I would have been like, keep rolling. Keep rolling while you walk behind me.
You sit there and just watch me run off.
You sit there and just film. I'll be back later.
Yeah. Where would we place the baddie on the scarimeter, and what would you score them out of 10?
So the baddie is who?
Well,
is it the Blair Witch? Is it Rustin Parr? Is it the Wood?
I would say it's
is it Heather?
Blair Witch, which could be any of those things.
Oh, the entity of Blair Witch.
Yeah.
The Holy Trinity of the Blair Witch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if we're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I would place it at a 5. I think if they were in that wood and Josh had been more careful and not kicked over those cans,
yes,
they might have been fine.
I mean, because you don't see anything, like I say, it almost makes it more scary. And therefore, I think I'm going to give the Blair Witch a 6.
So we're going to give the Blair Witch a 5.5.
Yes.
Okay.
And last but not least, what made you go, you scared me?
So this is because of the memory I have of watching this at yours and then having to walk home on my own. And actually, the way it panned out, I think because your mum was like, "Cutie, it's time for the bed now." Like, as soon as the film finished, and it was like, go. No, like,
out the door.
No time to adjust. No time to adjust. So, and the bit I remember being very freaky was seeing Mike
Yeah.
with his back
Back to the corner.
and going. So that is the bit that I
He's
would
not
pick.
shitting himself.
No, that's me.
Oh. If only I'd known that, I would have run ahead of you and just stood in a corner of somewhere you were going to walk past just to freak you out.
You would have what ahead of me?
Skateboarded.
I would have asked my mum for a lift.
No chance. For me, I think it is the point, especially before I realised it was teeth. It's where they hear Josh screaming, and it's the kind of like, is it Josh? Is it not? Is he okay? Should we help him? And for me, that was kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Now they've got a choice to make.
Yeah.
They're not all together. Shit.
Yeah.
So, is there a real life equivalent to this?
So, from what I could find, the woman that they say is the Blair Witch is someone called Ellie Kedward.
Kelly Edwards.
The character of the Blair Witch was Ellie Kedward. Oh. Kelly Edwards. What, Kelly?
Kel.
Can you imagine a witch called Kelly? All right, it's me, Kelly. I'm the what?
I mean, in 50 years' time, it's completely possible because it's my name that might have died out.
But no, so, and it's Ellie Kedward, which backwards is Edward Kelly,
Right.
who was an occultist in the 16th century. But the legend is based on someone real. So that character is inspired by the legend of Moll Dyer from Leonardtown in Maryland. So Dyer was from Devon, here, on our lovely shores. And in 1697, she was accused of witchcraft by the locals because the crops were failing. There was this deadly influenza outbreak, and they were all like, "It's you're doing it." So they set her cabin on fire, and they forced her to flee into the woods.
Yeah.
Days later, she was found frozen to these large rocks in the wood in a kneeling position, and one hand was raised as if she was trying to curse the town. So locals then believed that as she died, she had cursed the town as like her last thing as she died, which led to centuries of bad luck in the area. So there is a rock called, they had Coffin Rock in the film, they have Moll Dyer Rock, which apparently has the permanent imprints of her hands and knees.
If I lived in the olden days and was being accused of something like being a witch, and I knew I was going to die, I would definitely make sure that I put myself in some weird position on my final moments to make sure that it just freaked people out a lot. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, worthwhile.
Try and crank yourself into a split for the first time ever.
Or like running.
Or like one of those like
a Brucey.
Like a like a Brucey.
No, I would probably be like really like staring and pointing, because if you imagine if your body was found like that, it would look a bit creepy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I guess when you're freezing to death,
depends how cold it is.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? Though apparently, when a lot of people freeze to death, they tend to get undressed before they die.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
No. P.S. Not a doctor. I could have made that up.
Sure.
Do you have any recommendations for the week?
So, found footage is a love of my life, and one of the series of films that I really like are the VHS series, which can be found on Amazon. And it's lots of short clips, which is also probably why I like it, of different scenarios of just scary. And actually, I would say some of them are some of the most scary little clips I've seen on something that's not kind of blockbuster level.
Yeah.
Worth a watch. Find the original, though, because that's decent. There's tons. I mean, probably we're talking in the 20s of spin-offs, though. So pinch of salt with the rest of them.
I'm going to recommend The Curse of the Blair Witch, the documentary or the mockumentary that went along with the film.
Yeah.
So if you've watched the film, you can watch that after because the film is very short. So top it up.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. You scared me.
And if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at You Scared Me Podcast, or you can send us an email, youscaredme@gmail.com. That is with 2 H's. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Can you do your laugh to laugh us out again?